Hello and welcome back to Texas as it's time for the Hooters Nationwide series to take to the track. It's the Dallas Mavericks 400 here. Yesterday in the Dallas Cowboys 300 we saw a pit road glitch prove to be costly for some of the front runners. Will that same pit road glitch show up today? Who knows? But it's time for 34 laps here and trying to decide who will make this chase, as there is one driver with a clinch scenario today and probably some others that might clinch a chase spot as well, but we'll get to that later. On the front row today, though, is Jake Bassinger on the outside and Charles Sanford on the inside in the Sonic Chevrolet. Jake Davis and Maxwell Chan make up row 2. Jeff James with a new paint scheme this week inside row 3 alongside Marcus Bruno. Kyle Collins and Matt Dixon row 4, and Katie Elizabeth and Mary Shelley in row 5.
Drivers, start your engines!
And then taking a look through the rest of the starting grid, worth mentioning Seth Cole comes in as the points leader. He has already clinched a spot in the top 10 for the chase. Also clinching a spot last week was Katie Elizabeth in the 64. On the final row we have Kenny Bale and PJ Williams. But like I said, also clinching a spot last week was Katie Elizabeth. She comes into this race 63 points back, and the only other driver who could catch Seth in the point standings here leaving Texas. Other drivers in the top 10, you have Brendan Patterson, Drew Austin, Alex May, Preston Plord, Madison Williams, Matt Dixon. The 42 team of Jessica Shelton is 9th in owners points, so would currently make the chase. And Troy King in 10th. Kind of interesting thing there over in the Cup Series with owners points being ruled as a thing that can decide whether or not someone makes a chase, but drivers prohibited from that would be the 29 Jeff James making the chase based on the 29 being top 10 points, or ditto for the 15 because the 15 is not top 10 in owners points. But we saw the top line be the line to go yesterday. Will we see the same as the green flag is out? Sanford got the early jump going into turn 1. Bassinger tried to get low, but Jake Davis was able to fill the hole there inside for second. And it looks like that inside line might be a little bit better today than it was yesterday for these nationwide cars. Maxwell Chan gets in the line behind Jake Davis, now goes to the inside of Davis, almost 3 wide for second coming off turn number 4. As the 32 of Ish Taylor, his terrible season continues, he did not take the green flag. Is he at least still on pit road? No, he is not. Already done for the day, and Renzi's on pit road. Way early for the number 8. But we have a battle for the lead as Jake Davis goes inside Charles Sanford, and oh my gosh, Kyle Collins rubbing doors with the 99, and Matt Dixon lost a lot of momentum through turn number 4. As pace car is out, Sky Commons have gone around as well as William Duncan, Drew Austin with damage. Looks like Shelton was able to get through. Renzi coming back to the track now with no hood, so not quite sure what that's about. Pit stops kind of turned down maybe to try and hopefully reduce that effect, as oh my gosh, how close were they at the line? 0.03 of a second between Sanford and Davis. What if that was the finish, right? But we will take a short commercial break and be right back to show you what happened. Already a caution flag earlier in this race than in the truck race yesterday. And we're back, and I figured we'd show this because it kind of explains what happened to Renzi's car, as Ish Taylor blows up upon starting the car. And then watch Ish Taylor here and the aid of Renzi a little bit. As actually Louvier is the one to turn Ish Taylor around, and Renzi gets into the back of Louvier. So not quite sure why that would cause the ATAP to remove the hood, but it does explain why the 32 was unable to take the green flag. Now let's get up to what caused the caution here on lap number 3 of the race. We are discovering more and more things about the start. Watch Amanda Shelley here on the start here. This was absolutely amazing. I'm surprised they're going to let her get away with this. So already in 4th gear, trying to catch up, but now the green flag is out. And look at this. Brennan Berg almost pulling a similar stint as well. I'm surprised they let the 36 of Amanda Shelley get away with that. And now we are back for the actual reason the caution. Watch William Duncan's car slide up the track into Sky Commons. And unfortunately, Drew Austin is just going to get clipped as well. And actually up onto 2 wheels for the 11. And probably a lucky break that no one else gets involved in this besides just those 3 cars. As you have guys like Vernon Patterson going to the grass as well as PJ Williams to try and get around that. But the caution coming out on lap 2 going on to lap 3. Charles Sanford is the leader. And we are back. Cassandra Renzi now has taken her car behind the wall. It's been a rough day pretty much for the A, and it started on the word go. Charles Sanford is the leader though. If I can get to the top of the leaderboard there. Jake Davis runs second. It's Maxwell Chan, Jake Bassinger, Kyle Collins, Jeff James, Marcus Bruno, Gabe Williams, Matt Dixon, and Mary Shelley the top 10. Kyle Thomas, Katie Elizabeth, Chris Louvier, Joe Davis, Cosmic Nova, Jerry Shelley, Kyle Sosnowski, Alex May, John Wilson, Tom Gerard the top 20, and Kyle Matthews, Amanda Shelley, Dylan Young, Troy King, Chris Washer, Max Neuwirth, Brennan Berg, Madison Williams, Seth Cole, Kenny Bale, Trevor Meacham, Brian Patterson, Alex Hawkins, PJ Williams, Preston Plord, Jessica Shelton, William Duncan, Drew Austin, Sky Commons, and Momo Akari, the top 40, as the green flag is back out. One thing I will mention about the 39, if you didn't look at the points at the end of the last video, Gabe Williams is now just driving for pride here because he cannot make the chase. He's been eliminated already. So just pride out there for this 39 team at this point, as Maxwell Chan goes for second. A third win would practically clinch him in for the chase here. I said practically because there'd still be the 1 race left to go. But here we go. Now Chan going for the race lead as here comes Kyle Collins in the 41. One of the Ganassi cars up here, but it's not the Ganassi car I think they'd want. And oh my gosh, that's Kyle Thomas and Katie Elizabeth. What the heck of a save. Katie Elizabeth obviously, I guess, making the chase, so now she wants to put it out there on the line. Maybe a little bit too much there for car 64. Got away with it though. As Chan and Sanford separated by thousandths of a second at the line. And Gabe Williams, I mentioned the pride. He's making it 4 wide on Bruno. They get into each other but save it. And Chan to the lead. Oh my gosh, they are not done wrecking, folks. They are not done wrecking. This is making me nervous. 3 wide for third into turn number 1, I'm sorry. Off of 2 has been making me nervous the last couple times. As Sanford goes back to the race lead now in car 29. 3 wide back here, Jeff James, Matt Dixon, and Jake Davis. I see Kyle Thomas in there, and that's why I was saying Kyle. Caution might be out, and it is, as there's problems with Alex May's machine and Katie Elizabeth, Kyle Sosnowski, and Amanda Shelley. Still wrecking. PJ Williams is involved. That's one of the wild card holders. Jerry Shelley with damage. Plord's on the apron. I'm not sure if that's because of damage or not. Yes, it is. Right front on his car. Looks like Shelton's gone through it. Momo Akari looks clean. Dylan Young's got damage to the left side of his car as minor stack up there. Sanford led back to the caution. But now it's time to take a look at what happened to bring out the second caution of the race. And we're back, and this is just a situation of 3 wide, and they get kind of scrunched in here. And Cosmic Nova, not the big loser out of all this, but man, didn't help in the fact of where he was at on the track. Alex May takes a hard hit. Katie Elizabeth does as well. And I think as she comes down the track, yes, Amanda Shelley makes contact with the 64. Sosnowski apparently has hit someone else already. There's Preston Plord and PJ Williams getting damage as guys go down to the apron here. Does Seth get into the 12 maybe? Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Oh no, Jerry Shelley. There it is, yep. And the black smoke starts to erupt from car 12. I'm wondering if Sosnowski actually hit the 77 car. No, he already had damage. As, wow, Dylan Young already had damage as well, as a couple guys again go to the apron. And Brennan Patterson, how far down into the grass did he go? Oh. He was so far down, he nearly took out the commitment cone, I think. I didn't realize that back roads racing was in Brennan Patterson's background. Dang. Backwards racing or something. Driving that car in the grass. Well, Charles Sanford once again leads under the caution. Let's go back to the green flag. And we are back. Preston Plord, PJ Williams, Kyle Sosnowski, Amanda Shelley, and Alex May have taken their cars behind the wall. It's Charles Sanford now leading as Katie Elizabeth returns to the track. Maxwell Chan is in second, then Gabe Williams, Marcus Bruno, Kyle Collins, Jake Davis, Matt Dixon, Jeff James, Jake Baskinger, and Kyle Thomas, the top 10. Then it's Joe Davis, Mary Shelley, Tom Gerard, Chris Louvier, John Wilson, Cosmic Nova, Kyle Matthews, Troy King, Alex Hawkins, Brennan Patterson, Chris Washer, Brennan Berg, Trevor Meacham, Kenny Bale, Madison Williams, Max Neuwirth, the truck winner from yesterday, Dylan Young, Momo Akari, Jessica Schulten's worked her way up to 29th now. Seth Cole runs 30th, and Jerry Shelley, Sky Commons, Drew Austin, and William Duncan, the top 34, and our lead lap cars. There you see Katie Elizabeth. Not going to help leaving here as the points leader, but at least she can have some faith in the fact that she's already clinched a spot in the chase, so it doesn't really matter what happens here today. It's just to try and get another win for the chase. Green flag though back out. How does Katie Elizabeth fare in the battle for the lead as Gabe Williams goes to the inside of Chan, but going to get blocked by the 64 of Elizabeth. As there you see him start to try and fan out to get around the 64. Bruno goes to middle line. Jake Davis and Matt Dixon going to do the best job as they go to the top line and get around entirely and will start to break away a little bit. As you see, Marcus Bruno now being held up. Kyle Collins, Mary Shelley on the outside line behind the 64. This is where it's going to be dangerous because a caution can come out real easily because of a spin caused by being stuck behind the 64. You're not missing anything up front just yet. Watching to see how these guys get around the 64 here. As there goes Alex Hawkins. I see Jessica Shelton working her way up through here now as Bruno's still stuck behind the 64. Brennan Berg gets around. Max Neuwirth, there's Shelton in the 42. Bruno losing tons of positions now. Finally might be able to get to the inside, and yes, he will. As they're 3 wide now behind Elizabeth. Louvier going to get inside now. So Bruno now from a top 10 spot all the way down to 23rd. As Shelton now works her way up to 20th. There's Cosmic Nova. The damage on his car might be a little bit problematic for him. As Jake Davis now has worked his way up into the lead. So he did miss the pass for the lead. I'm sorry about that. So Charles Sanford now runs second. Maxwell Chan trying to fend off Matt Dixon for third. Gabe Williams fifth. Jake Bassinger sixth. Kyle Thomas and Tom Gerard battling for seventh. Then Joe Davis and Jeff James, the top 10. As now Sanford inside of Davis for the race lead. And now I think the last of the lead lap cars will finally work their way around the Katie Elizabeth machine. But meanwhile, up front, 2x2 for the top 4 spots essentially. Sanford inside Davis and Dixon inside of Chan. At the line, give it to Davis by about half a car length. Gabe Williams throw him into this battle now are in the 5th spot. As here comes Maxwell Chan. Sanford can clear the 35 machine. Now Chan's going to make it a 3-car battle for the race lead, and he wants the lead. Throw Bassinger into this. Tom Gerard back there. How about Matt Dixon going for a 4th win on the season? Something that only Elijah Workman has done in any of the 3 series. Yeah, Elijah Workman, the only person to ever win 4 races in a season. Dixon trying to join that company. Workman did it in both the Nationwide and Truck Series last season, and Gabe Williams to the lead. Maybe. It's Chan with the lead, but they're 3x3, and oh no! Huge wreck! Safer on his lid. Sliding down the track. Oh no, this can be dangerous. Neuwirth's in it. Louvier's in it. Neuwirth on his lid now, and back on his wheels. Chris Washer's in it. Duncan, Jerry Shelley. Katie Elizabeth trying to drive through the mayhem. Sanford's car mangled. Huge wreck. Davis is in the lead. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that just happened. Wow. Let's take a look back at what happened there. That was a huge wreck. And we're back. We're starting this all the way on the back straight to try and get a full diagnosis of what exactly happened. Watch the 39 car. He's going to slide up the track a little bit, get into Dixon. And Sanford's car just immediately goes up on its roof. Chan gets into the wall, but at least will he be able to drive away. But it's the Matt Dixon machines and the Matt Dixon and Charles Sanford machines that both slide down the track. Sanford's car sliding on its roof and will get hit by Max Neuwirth there. Sanford's car stays on its roof even despite getting hit. There's Louvier. I guess he hit Dixon's car. There's Washer getting turned. I'm not sure. Well, he hit someone before that. We're going to have to take a look at who hits Dixon in all of this. But Sanford's car stays on its lid. Doesn't even flip over after getting hit. How about Dixon's car when he slides down the track? Let's see here. Louvier definitely does hit the 14. Washer does as well. So 14 taking some shots as well after this one. Jerry Shelley and William Duncan both clipped Max Neuwirth's ride. And their cars are done for the day as well. But a huge wreck. Alex Hawkins was on pit road for some reason. Not quite sure what that was. We'll take a look at it, but first we'll also take some onboards here to show what happened. Oh my gosh. There's absolutely no indication that was going to happen. See Dixon's car spinning there in the background. More Matt Dixon. That 29 car just on its roof. It's the scary part about this. Oh my gosh. Oh! She gets hit from behind. Ford yesterday's funny. Need to crash hop in front of him. Oh, wow. And he could have thought that that wreck was over by then. Ford, the Eckridge Farm Chevrolet. And he had no control of the car at that point when he started sliding. Washer slides in. There's Jerry Shelley and William Duncan getting into this. Let's go back to the green flag and let's hope that all those drivers were okay. And we are back. Jerry Shelley, Chris Washer, Matt Dixon, Charles Sanford, the 19 of Chris Louvier, Max Neworth, yesterday's winner, William Duncan in the 9, and Joe Davis all going out underneath the caution. Joe Davis, a random issue with the ignition, unrelated to the wreck that happened. Jake Davis is leader, then it's Tom Gerard, Jake Bassinger, Kyle Thomas, Jeff James is in 5th, then Kyle Collins, John Wilson, Brennan Patterson, Gabe Williams, Kyle Matthews, Maxwell Chan, Marcus Bruno. Jessica Shelton has worked her way all the way up to 13th today. Seth Cole in 14th, Brendan Berg, Momo Akari, Madison Williams, Sky Commons, Trevor Meacham, Dylan Young, Troy King, Kenny Bale, Cosmic Nova, Drew Austin, Mary Shelley, Katie Elizabeth, and Alex Hawkins. Both these drivers are off the pace, or well, actually a lap down. Something happened with Hawkins' car and it just shut down and stopped on the track. Did not bring out the caution though. And in a way, I guess some people hoped it would have because it wouldn't have even stopped that wreck because it happened the same lap. We actually saw through one of the onboards where the car actually did disappear or get transported from the track straight to the pit road as the green flag is out. And that was on the same lap that the wreck actually happened. Patterson inside of John Wilson quickly as drivers have to get around Gabe Williams and Maxwell Chan. They scurry to try and get around them. Jessica Shelton the first really to do so this next major pack of cars. Bruno gets around someone. Bruno, that is actually around Kyle Matthews' machine. And Tom Gerard, though, has gone to the race lead. The consort men's Ford there for PPC Racing as Kyle Thomas goes for second. 3 wide for that spot as there will be 7 laps to go at the stripe. Oh gosh, they are getting really close. They may not be done wrecking as Bassinger leaning on the left side of the 35 car. Don't have to, they're not 3 wide there. Kyle Collins up here, John Wilson, Brennan Patterson, right now doing enough to be able to clinch a spot in the chase as he's running in the top 8. In the middle of a 3 wide, this could go away quickly. Patterson in a dangerous spot. I don't know if I'd be putting it there right now. He gets a couple of spots though as he gets past Jeff James and John Wilson, puts his car into 6th. Marcus Bruno, Kyle Matthews, top 10. Brennan Berg has gone around Jessica Shelton now. And Shelton coming back at the 40. Trevor Meacham back here. Troy King. Sky Comets, who we saw in the first wreck. He's up here in the top 15 now. Troy King. Momo Akari looking for one of the wildcard spots. Dylan Young up here as well. Top line still looks to have at least some sort of advantage there as Brennan Berg got the run off turn number 4. 5 laps to go here from Texas though as Kyle Thomas goes for 3rd. Patterson into 5th, going for 4th on Jake Bassinger. Patterson looking to clinch today, but he's wanting to do more than just clinch. He'd love to grab that first win of the season. And of his nationwide career, actually. As there are 4 laps to go, they're catching up to the Gabe Williams machine, and Patterson probably the most to get held up by that as that brings Marcus Bruno right up here. Oh gosh, Gabe Williams, Kyle Matthews get into it. Matthews saves it though. His car extremely off the pace though as he lost a ton of momentum. Jessica Shelton kind of gets held up a little bit. Hawkins up here. He's not on the lead lap though. He's about 3 laps down as there are 3 laps to go for Tom Gerard. As now they're catching up to Gabe Williams, Troy King, Trevor Meacham. They don't save it, and oh my gosh, that's going to set up a green-white checkered. Oh, Drew Austin and Mary Shelley hard into this. Madison Williams into it. Not what Tom Gerard wanted to see, as now with 2 to go, the caution comes out, and there will be a green-white checkered finish, as by done in this series. As now the field has to try and go ahead and get slowed down and probably try and get through this wreck. Another terrible wreck that's started by guys having to get around the Gabe Williams machine. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, and then we'll bring you back for the green-white checkered. And we're back. Gabe Williams is causing a chaos pretty much all throughout. I mean, you saw Kyle Matthews get into him there and lose a bunch of momentum. Meacham tried to go to the inside, but Kang was there. They make a little bit of contact. No harm, no foul. Meacham able to get back up on the track safely. At least a little bit. But Kang, when he gets back up there, gets right into the Brendan Berg machine. Meacham hard into the safer barrier wall. You see Shelton getting by another one. Momokari kind of making some contact there. And as I slide down the track, there's the Drew Austin machine getting Mary Shelley involved in this. Madison Williams comes along and will hit the 11 car. But a 5-car wreck coming out, bringing the caution out here with just a few laps to go, means we'll go into overtime here in the Hooters Nationwide Series here from Texas. And we're back. Most series, this race would have been over. Tom Gerard would have been your winner. But not here, as we promised. At least the one attempt at green-white checkered, I forgot to turn caution flags off, so this might still end under caution. Who knows? But Tom Gerard will lead us down. We have 19 cars who were still on the lead lap at the end of regulation, all the way down to Mary Shelley, who was actually involved in the wreck. Here we go. Green flag is out. 2 laps here from Texas. Tom Gerard leads them off into turn number 1. Kyle Thomas trying to get onto his back bumper, maybe get Tom loose a little bit here off turn number 2. Or push him out in front of the 35. Here we go. Either or works, I guess. Tom Gerard out in front. Here they go. Can they keep it green to get back around? It looks like they will, so this is it. White flag is out for Tom Gerard. 3 wide for third. Jake Davis is the best shot at trying to catch Tom. Here they go. Inside of him. They're 4 wide for third. Coming off turn number 2. Thomas is in the wall. There they go. Huge wreck on the back straightaway. This all happening behind this battle for the lead. Jake Davis, Tom Gerard. Off turn number 4. It's going to be the McDonald's Ford of Jake Davis going to victory lane. Tom Gerard comes up second. John Wilson third. Sky Commons in fourth. And Jessica Shelton's going to grab 5th out of all that. Jeff James in 6th. Seth Cole, Momo Akari, Kenny Bale. Mary Shelley grabs 10th. Out of all the craziness on the final lap, I still think Brendan Patterson will clinch a chase spot despite not being able to finish green-white checker and finishing in 19th. What a finish, though. Jake Davis gets it done. Unfortunate for Tom Gerard that it will not do him any good. And unfortunately for Patterson, was running in a spot to where he would have clinched it no matter what. I still think he will be a clinch into the chase for the Hooters Nationwide Season 2 chase. But let's go ahead and take a look back at what happened there off turn number 2. That was terrible on my part. I'm sorry. But Kyle Thomas actually pushes up the track into Jake Bassinger. There's Brendan Patterson. Kyle Collins getting involved. John Wilson actually gets a piece of this. Bruno and Patterson come down the track. Dylan Young. There's Shelton getting through it all. She had a humongous day trying to get through these wrecks. As the back straightaway just covered in smoke. Looking through here, there's Bruno. Let's take a look at Patterson. He took a hit to the wall there. See, he bounces off the wall into Bruno, and then will hit the non-safer barrier part of that inside wall. And look at all these guys up here having to try and avoid this. Shelton actually still takes to the inside of Jeff James and will get the spot. But then drivers like this, just driving it, and they come back around and will score, I think, a top 10 finish still. But Jake Davis, the guy to get it done, top 10 behind him. Tom Girard, John Wilson, Sky Commons, Jessica Shelton, Jeff James, Seth Cole, Momo Akari, Kenny Bale, and Mary Shelley. Rest of the finishers that were out here: Brennan Berg, Dylan Young, Kyle Matthews, Cosmic Nova, Kyle Thomas, Kyle Collins, Marcus Bruno, and Jake Bassinger. Patterson in 19th. We'll have to see how that affects who makes this chase here at the end of this, because a couple of drivers who are down towards the bottom of the top 10, or even outside looking in, getting a great run here today. For example, Jessica Shelton, 9th in points for that 42 team in owners, which would make him into the chase, finishing 5th. That will help a ton. I mean, I'm sorry, I couldn't get the word out. Jeff James in 6th, 12th in the points coming in. That should put him back up in there, especially with the troubles Troy Kang found today. Maybe even the troubles that Matt Dixon found today will move Dixon out of the top 10. Although Dixon, actually, we are going to confirm this. He clinches a chase spot on the 3 wins, because no matter what, worst comes to worst, he's just going to be a wild card. He's clinched at least that. So Matt Dixon confirmed as a 3rd driver that will be in the Hooters Nationwide chase. Jake Davis, though, grabbing his first win of the season, came to this race 30th in points. At least will keep him alive in chase hopes leaving today. Who else is eliminated and who else makes it in? Well, that will be right after this. We're done here. We'll have one more race coming up. I don't remember the race title, but oh well. The Coke Vanilla Cup Series still yet to take to track at Texas, and then it's off to Richmond, Virginia for race number 26 and the final race before the chase starts.